What is going on, Elevation Nation? We are doing something a little bit different this week. This is what we call an Elevation Nation special. You might have remembered, if you are an Elevation Nation OG, it's been a minute since we've done an Elevation Nation special with our guy, Sam Panitch, who is the founder and co-host of Elevation Nation. And during our Elevation Nation special episodes, we like to just re-highlight who we are, in this case, Sam, his experiences, what's on his mind. I know we do that every Fortitude 15, but this episode is going to be focused solely on Sam. I'm going to bring my interviewing personality and attitude to the conversation, and Sam is going to bring his free-flowing thoughts. We're going to have an awesome conversation about what's top of mind for Sam now and going forward and elevating now that it is June. Man, June 2023. Sam, what is up? Welcome,
Parker,
to Elevation Nation.
Hell of an intro. You did a great job. You've had a lot of practice. You know me pretty well. You know me, honestly, better than maybe anyone out there that's not my family. You're certainly up there. Heck of an intro. What an honor. Let's do this special episode. I'm excited to hear your interview skills. You're like a newscaster. Give it to me, man. What are we talking about today?
I don't want to be like a newscaster. I'd rather just be Parker, sitting in a bar or at a conversation at a table and talking with you. But I'll try
That
my
works
best.
too. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So do you know, Sam, that the last Elevation Nation special with you, I'm looking right at it right now. It was a 55-minute episode. We recorded it on March 30th, 2021. Think about that. That's pretty crazy, right?
It's a long time ago. Man, have things changed. I'm excited to play them back-to-back now.
Dude, that was episode 35. This is going to be episode 235 or 236, something like that.
Ah, damn, we're off by one. That would have been
cool.
Let's just call it 235. All right, 235
Wow, so
it is.
200 episodes later.
200 episodes later, a lot of years, a lot of memories, a lot of smiles, a lot of tears, and we're here now. 200 episodes later. Parker, I think it's funny that we measure our time. You are the only person on earth that you and I measure our time by episodes together. That's cool.
Well, in this journey, in this chapter of our lives, Elevation
That's
Nation
cool.
in particular.
That's so cool. We measure our time together in episodes. It's a wild thought.
That is pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, we can think about. I mean, if we went back and like we had a highlight, like we could see like, oh, where are we in our lives right now? And we were recording these things since 2020, so it's been almost 2.5 years of like what is going on. And it's funny if you want. This is our journal, right? This is the journal here. I mean, I write it in my book, but we can go back and listen. Wow, what was on Sam's mind in July 2021? I can go back, be like, yeah, Sam was definitely an asshole that month. He really brought the negative vibes.
I'm going to refrain from being rude to you, but
Okay, yeah, I'm the interviewer. I'm starting off at a bad note. So what
really
I wanted to do, I think this would be really, really cool for this episode, is actually ask you a lot of the same questions that I asked you 200
Cool.
episodes ago. In the
Very
first
cool.
Elevation Nation special with Sam Panitch. What do you
I
think
love it.
about that? I
Let's
think it'd
do
be
it.
super cool. I had a bunch of questions that I asked you back in 2021. So I'm going to ask you these questions. And no, I'm not going to like snip 2021 Sam with 2023 Sam, even though that actually would be kind of cool in like some type of reel or TikTok. Like, here's how Sam answered this question. And then he went into this question now. I think may not be a bad idea. Maybe we'll do that.
Maybe. All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it, Sammy. So, man, the first question that I had back in the day was after graduation, what was your life? And I think we don't need to hit on this as much because this is what you talk about a lot in a lot of episodes, especially with our guests. But what did you want to do after graduation? And then now you're sitting here. It's been 5 years since graduation. How has that completely changed, or has it changed at all?
It's a great question. I think I've realized that I already knew I'm a complex person. There are a lot of different things that bring me joy and fulfillment. But I also am slowly starting to realize that I need to be patient for these things. My fears, though, still hold true, which is plateauing or never achieving what I think I want to. But in terms of what I'm doing after graduation versus now, I'm in the same job. I moved to a city that makes me a lot happier, but a lot of the same since graduation. A lot of still trying to figure out exactly what Sam Panitch is going to be known for. And I think that's okay because it evolves over time. So I'm very excited about the next few years of my life as I start to figure out who I am a little bit more and where I want to go. And I look back to, when I had just graduated college and some of the struggles I was going through living in New York City, being in a group at work that I didn't love, trying to adjust to waking up early and working hard and, not having a ton of friends in the city, feeling very lonely, feeling very uncomfortable, and taking the time over the past few years to figure out what makes me comfortable, what pushes me outside of my comfort zone, who are the people I want to be with, and what new memories do I want to make as I move forward. So a lot has changed, but a lot is still the same as well. You're on mute.
It sounds like a lot has changed for the good. You're not as lonely. You're not as overwhelmed. You're in a group at work with people you like. But like, what did change? Like, that's the thing. It's like it was like, oh, I just got older and I figured out the real world a little bit more. Was it your mental fortitude? Like, what was it? And like, maybe it's something even beyond like your mental fortitude, your mindset. Like, what was it? When you got your bearings, did you not care so much about other things that you cared about then? Like, what is it?
I think the sad reality for many young people is we put a lot of our perceived value into our careers. And so having a career path that I was very unsure of at first, when I first graduated college, and being in a group that didn't necessarily resonate with me in the consulting world was a big struggle of mine. And I remember I, networked throughout, I think I've told this story before, networked throughout my company, found this group that I wanted to join. And so I printed out a piece of paper that said, congratulations, you are now part of X group, right? The group I'm in now. And I taped it on my New York bedroom wall. And every day I'd look at it before I went to work. And that's one actual tangible thing that changed. I worked my butt off and networked to get into a group that was more advantageous, a group that was more me. And so that was a really big change, finding a career that I liked a little bit more. But some of the things still have stayed the same, right? Just because I've found this group and love what I do doesn't necessarily mean I know what I want to do in 10, 15 years. I still don't really know. But I also am very, very grateful that we've started to build this incredible network of elevators that I know are going to be the next leaders in the next generation of people to make a change. And I'm hoping that one of them will let me come along for the ride because there's some pretty cool people doing some amazing things out there.
You want to go along with the ride with someone else, or do you want to bring people along your ride?
I think I'm already doing that. I think I'm already bringing people along my ride. I think I've been doing that with you since I first graduated from school, and that's why we built Elevation Nation. Whether you just listen to a podcast, whether you are an elevator and have shared your story on our podcast, whether we've spoken to you at an event, your school, or your corporation, you are all some semblance part of Parker and our story in Elevation Nation. And so I think I'm already bringing people along for the ride. And those people I know would love to have me along for the ride too. And so that's something really exciting looking towards the future, is that I know all these relationships that I've put an effort into building, they're all going to be mutually beneficial as we continue to move on in life.
Fair enough. I like that. I completely agree with you. We're all kind of together on this ride of life, but also when it comes to Elevation Nation, we're the ones coming and speaking every week, but I feel as if, I'm part of other people's ride too, like watching them on social media, meeting them in person, seeing them like elevate. It's really, really cool to be like, feel like I'm a part of that in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's certainly helped me feel more confident, better about what we're doing, but also better about like, wow, the world is embracing young people and the world is allowing young people to succeed. And I think that's super, really, really cool. All right, I got another question for you, Sammy. The question here was, what is your goal in life at 25 years old? Maybe for Elevation Nation, I asked in that episode, I asked you to take out a piece of paper and write those goals down at 25. What do you think the 3 goals you had were at 25? And what are 3 goals that you have now at 27 going on 28?
I think at 25, I probably said I want to find a career path that will bring me long-lasting fulfillment. And I think that still stands true. I think everyone wants that in every job that they have. That is still a goal of mine, is to ensure that my career path is bringing me fulfillment. So those both still hold true. I'm sure I said something about happiness. I think at the end of the day, we all just want to be happy. And I think that happiness is tied a lot to our health, a lot to our fulfillment, a lot to our relationships. But I still hold true to this day, want to be happy. And I think I want to elevate myself and others and make the world a better place. And that kind of goes hand in hand with something that makes me really happy, mentoring others and being mentored. And something that brings me fulfillment is trying to leave this world a little bit better than when I was born into it. I'm guessing at 25, I probably had some other things about like, I want to learn to cook new things and I want to work out more. I definitely didn't say run a marathon, but maybe I said do some other physical feat. I'm sure that was on my list, but I think, a lot of the things hold true. I think these late 20s is a very strange time because I certainly have more figured out, but I definitely don't have it all figured out. And as someone who's very much type A, that scares me a lot. That I'm 5 years out of college and I still don't know what city I'm going to settle down in, who necessarily I'm going to be with for the rest of my life, what job I'm going to have for the rest of my life, the career path that I want to follow, what my next step is, how I'm going to take Elevation Nation to the next level. There's all these questions still out there. And I constantly have to remind myself, that's what makes life fun and enjoying. How boring would it be if at 24, 23, 22, I already knew what I wanted to do the rest of my life, knew what city I wanted to live in, met my spouse, already had everything figured out. Like, that doesn't make the mystery and enjoyment of figuring out life come to fruition. And so that's something that I'm continually reminding myself is enjoy that mystery. How exciting and how lucky it is that I still have so many options and opportunity in front of me.
I feel like you need to continue to remind yourself of what you just said, because I know you have not. I know there are times where you felt like probably like, wow, like I was a little bit lost and I needed that. You probably needed someone else to tell you that, aka maybe your dad or your mother or your brother or me. So, it's funny, you come on the podcast and you say those things, but are you telling those things to yourselves when you're sitting on your couch, you're looking out the window on a Tuesday night, it's dark, maybe your roommate McPee's not around, and you're just like, wow, like I'm lost, I'm stuck, what am I doing? But I like what you just said, because that's the Sam that I know. That's the Sam that I know is going to make a difference in the world, find what he likes, find his passions, find his things that he wants to do, and how he wants to spend his time. It's not the other Sam that's sitting there like, oh, I'm so lost. Life is difficult, this, that. Yeah, life is difficult. We know that. Yeah, it's hard. We know that. Yeah, every day we don't know what's going to happen. But we take that truth and we make sense of it. And we find a little bit of mental fortitude and direction along the way. And I like the way you just framed that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's partially reminding myself this stuff, but also I have many, many friends who maybe aren't going that same direction that I want to go anymore. And at one point I thought we all were.
You thought
And
everyone
now-
was going the same direction? Ooh, let's go down this little rabbit hole. I feel like you graduate college and you think everyone is going down the same direction or should be going down the same direction. And then you realize, wait, there are a million different directions to go.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people slowly get worn out by trying to pursue a dream that they have. And I just don't want to fall into that camp. So when some people, maybe stop pursuing something or change it up or do something different, while that might be the best option for them, it makes me second guess myself of like, well, if they're not trying to do something different or unique, why should I? Maybe I'm just going to have a normal life. But deep down, I know my life's not going to be normal. And I'm good with that. I'm excited about that.
But we've talked about this before, Sam. Your normal is different than my normal. What you want is different than what I want. And if that's the case, what you want is certainly different than 99.99999% of the world wants and needs and desires. And we talked about this a lot over the last 2.5 years with the podcast. It's like the idea of you graduate college and you like are forced to think that you want to get a corporate job that pays well, that looks good, and it's good for the resume. But we know people who are making ends meet in many, many unique ways. They're spending their time in many, many unique ways. They're not doing the stereotypical showing up to work, sitting at an office desk all day and closing the computer at 5 o'clock and then just doing that over and over and making a good salary. There's other ways to do that. I also think that we've defined our success a little bit differently since we were 22 years old, just starting out. Because you and I both know that success was fully directly related to the job. If we were successful at job, we were successful at life. If we were not successful at job, we were failing at life. And I've come to a realization, I think you're starting to get there too, or maybe you already have, that the two are definitely related, but one is not the whole pie, aka the job, does not make up the whole pie. It can't. And if you think it does, that's where you get really, really lost.
Yeah, I definitely think I put all my happiness and success in just career outcomes very early on when I graduated college, and that has certainly been a change since then. There's a lot more balance in my life, which is great. But I also think I still have a great hunger to do something different and unique through Elevation Nation or whatever next company or idea I start. I want to do something that's ours or mine or different. And I think that is what I'm not so patiently waiting for the other shoe to drop, which is when does that turn into something bigger or different?
There's no way to determine that time. And I don't think it just happens. Like you wake up like,
well, no, I agree. But
here's the day.
We've been working on it for a couple of years. It's like at some point, Parker, you get a little frustrated. I think we both have. It's like, when is this going to flip into something different or bigger or new or a different idea or a new concept or something that is financially feasible?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Because to your point, life gets really busy. You're training for a marathon now. You have a fiance. I have things going on. It's like, I want this to turn. I want this to get bigger. I want this to be something. And we just have to constantly remind ourselves we've grown so not slowly. We've grown. And we've been there every single hour of every single day, so we haven't noticed the growth.
Yes. I see what you're saying.
Like people follow us on Instagram and reach out and say like, thank you so much for talking about X or Y or Z or elevators that we invite in. Now we're meeting other elevators and starting new companies together. It's like, we haven't built nothing. But because we're so close to it every day, we don't realize the growth that we've had.
How has fear played into what you think is holding back that component you're talking about?
I think I'm scared every day that I'm not going to reach the potential that I have in my mind. I've had a very vivid vision for what I want to accomplish in the life I want to live since I was a kid. And so if at any point I feel like I'm not headed down that path anymore.
Like, what is that? Is it, I want to have $5 million? Is it, I want to be, is it like tangible? I want to be the CEO of a company that's successful.
No.
Is it, I want to be known by others as successful? Like, what is that thing?
I want to wake up every day.
Okay.
I know you have this as part of your vision. You want to sit on a rocking chair and drink a cup of coffee and look out at whatever, nature, right?
And just not feel tied. Yeah.
I want to be able to determine how I'm going to spend my day with creative people who are pushing me to solve new challenges as I make the world a better place. Very simple. I want to do that every single day. And I want to be able to determine where I put my effort. If today I'm going to go mentor kids at a school for free, today I'm going to go public speak to a corporation, today I'm going to solve a problem, I'm going to launch a new product line, I'm going to do consulting for XYZ company, I'm going to go meet a friend for lunch, I'm going to play around a golf. I want to be able to determine what will bring me the most value in a perceived day. And I want to be financially stable to be able to do that.
But what I'm trying to say is that you don't get there without going in on the thing that, for example, what we're doing with Elevation Nation. And I'm not trying to toot our own horn here. I'm just saying that you're not going to your point that you've made earlier is that before we even started this conversation is you think that you're not going to get there as fast with just a normal corporate job. You have to do other things to build your brand, to meet other people, to be in a room with other people who have the same ideas and thoughts and make your perspective flip upside down. I think that the avenue of what we're doing is that. And it's not the same for everyone. Other people start companies, other people, raise money for charity, run ultra marathons. Like everyone has their thing. And I think what our thing is that we like to meet people and learn from them and help others. And then at the same time, build our brand around the idea that we're helping young adults.
I would agree. I think that's spot on.
Yeah. Okay. No, this is a good conversation. I'm enjoying this. This is a funny question I had. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You are a micromanager, not just in work. We know you're a micromanager. You like to see know everything that's going on because you don't want to have any stone unturned. Every T needs to be crossed. Every I needs to be dotted. Every bolt needs to be bolted. What about like in your personal life? Like, is it a blessing and is it a curse to micromanage as a personality?
Yeah, I don't think I'm a micromanager.
Oh, okay.
I disagree.
So this has changed because when I asked you this question, you agreed, which is very funny.
I think I'm detail oriented. I don't think I'm a micromanager. Micromanager means that you need to be the one to oversee every little thing. I just think I'm detail oriented. I don't look at any podcast you ever edit. Honestly, don't even listen to most of them. I trust you. Trust you.
Okay.
And maybe I didn't, 3 years ago when you asked these. But I think at some point you need to surround yourself with people that you trust to do the job right. And I trust you wholeheartedly to do things right. And so I don't need to check up on you to do stuff. That being said, I'm detail oriented.
What about your life? You have a routine every morning. You wake up.
But that's not micromanaging.
Why
not?
That's
not micromanaging.
It's making sure things are in line. Your day has to be organized a certain way. You have to do these certain things because if it doesn't happen, you see the result get affected.
I think that's routine oriented. I really don't think micromanaging is the right term for that.
Okay, this is a good conversation.
Yeah, I mean, micromanaging to me has a negative connotation that you oversee everything because you don't trust other people. I don't think that that's necessarily how I live my personal life. I think I'm super detail oriented. I like to have routines because I think they build solid habits. and habits
You're
build power.
regimented. You're regimented.
Yeah. I think that's important because there are only so many things you can think about in a day. And so if I have a routine that I don't have to think about, that I know will get my day started the best way it can, then I would say that's a successful thing. And I don't think I'm micromanaging myself. I think I've put systems and processes in place that I can trust my brain to go on autopilot, not have to have Sam Panitch micromanage it, but to follow a routine that puts me in the best position to be successful. I think that's a huge difference.
That's a great point. You found out what's worked for you, but how
Yeah.
often do you question what you've been doing for a while? And maybe you realize that some of those things that you're doing aren't the best for Sam Panitch.
Totally. I mean, that's half the reason why instead of waking up and lifting at the gym next Wednesday, I'm going to a boxing class. Is the gym easier? Will the gym save me more money? The gym right upstairs? Will I probably get a good workout up there? Yeah. But going to the boxing gym is trying something new. I'm going to go meet new people. I'm going to be pushed outside my comfort zone, and I get to try a new hobby. So you need to reevaluate both your habits and just how you spend your time every so often.
Well said. I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Okay. This is a big question we ask. I feel like a lot of guests, Sammy. What are you struggling with right now? Like, what is the thing that you wake up, it's the same thing that you're thinking about the day before, and it's been not just a 2-day thing.
Yeah. I mean, I
It's been a
got something
couple
that's
week
been the
thing.
past couple months is what is my career path? What will that look like? And it's not any dig on, I mean, I love the company we work at, and I know specifically what my next promotion is and how long it will take, and I get that. I more so mean, what value do I bring? What am I called? And is that what I should be doing for the next, 25 years I need to work? That's what I've been struggling with, because now it's like, all right, you're not a kid anymore trying something out. You've been at something for 5 years. Is that what you're known as? Is that your career now? Is that what your experience is in? Is that what you're going to do now moving forward? And so I'm at a critical crossroads of what value do I bring? And what is that called? And how do I start building that into my brand to portray that storyline further? And does that align with what brings me fulfillment? And that's what I've been figuring out.
And has that been a challenge for you in your personal life at all? Trying to figure out your professional life?
I don't delineate them like that.
Okay.
My career and the value I bring to the world and what brings me fulfillment is so closely tied to me as a person, because I don't just look at my corporate job as my job. I look at my whole self professionally, my investments, where I spend my 9 to 5, my side hustle and hobby and Elevation Nation with you. All of those things embody my career.
It's how you spend your time. And some of it pays you much more hefty than other things. But it's your time that you're trading for, whether it's money, whether it's for meeting someone, growing your network, making a difference in the world. I think that's so interesting to your point, like it's hard to delineate the difference between the two because they kind of fall together. You're Sam Panitch. This is how you spend your time. And you just so happen to get paid for the 40, 50 hours a week you do there or whatever. And then, you get other things. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't think it's like one thing or the other. especially with us because we're entrepreneurial, man. Like, if it was just one thing that we put our time, effort, and energy into, then fine. But I think everyone knows. And I think our bosses, like, everyone's supportive of it. They want us to be diverse and have different passions in brands and ways we sell ourselves. And so it's more so, how do I mesh, combine all of those things that I've done and learned and grown and experienced to whatever is next for me, whether that's Elevation Nation or a promotion at work or a new type of project I want to try. Like, what are the next couple of years going to look like? And I think that happened because I hit a huge goal professionally in my corporate job. You know, I got a promotion, which was something I was looking forward and went for and worked hard to get. And it's like, once you hit something, you always say, Parker, part of mental fortitude is our vision. And I'm still trying to differentiate and figure out exactly what vision is next for me, what that next goal is on that professional side.
Did you celebrate getting promoted to manager?
I did.
How did you take that? Because last time we spoke, you were not a manager. You were probably just starting your first year as a senior.
Staff too. Senior? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I did celebrate. I went out with the DC boys. We went out, had some dinner. We celebrated together. I bought myself a little gift. Bought myself a new watch. And then I moved on because I'm hungry and I have other things I want.
But you've been working at that thing for a while.
Yep.
And you just like, day, celebrate, now I got to watch. And then now you're back here. And now you're looking for that next thing. The next thing.
I think that's unfortunately the blessing and the curse of an elevator. I think I will constantly always have something else that I want next.
Fair enough. Yeah, that is
blessing and a curse.
The question is like, when does it just plateau and you're just like, all right, I'm cool not getting promoted. I'm cool not.
I think there will be a contentness. I think there will be a contentness eventually. But I also think I have so much energy and passion right now that I would be doing myself a disservice to just settle. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewire my brain. Maybe I ought to work through that. Maybe I can figure out contentness and just say like, yep, I'm good with this. I can coast and chill. But I think we both know, as of now, how I'm wired. It's probably not going to happen. That's what makes me me.
I mean, we're still young,
though.
Me. Like, yeah. If you call yourself an elevator, you're not just like getting to where you want to be at 27, and then you're just coasting, because then you still got a long way to go. How are you gonna spend?
That's true. That's how like child stars get all effed up, man. They like get all this money and fame early on, and then all of a sudden they're like, "What do I do now?"
Yeah,
Scary
like,
reality.
What's my purpose? Like, I
maybe
already have.
Maybe it's a blessing that we haven't struck gold with Elevation Nation yet. We're still waiting.
100%, dude. It's all part of the journey.
All part of the journey.
I've said to you many times before, it's a win-win at this point. If it fails tomorrow, first of all, it's us determining that it's a failure because we don't make any money. It's not like we're supporting the business and all that. You know what I mean? So it's like we'll determine when we're done. And it's a win-win. We've met a lot of people. We've had a lot of great conversations, and we've elevated each other and others. So that's what it's all about. All right, last few questions for you, Sam, because we got to wrap up. It's been a fun conversation. Certainly very different than we've had in the past. But
yeah,
we use this question quite a bit back in the day, but we talk all the time about mental fortitude.
Yeah.
What does mental fortitude mean to you now?
I mean, it's a tool I fall back on all the time. I think with an emphasis on, I guess, all three. I was going to call out one of them, but no, all three. Every stage of my life when I'm going through something that I think I need to take a step back at, I fall back to mental fortitude and figuring out who I am, what I want next, and what really drives me. And I think now, in this next phase, as I've been a little bit introspective, now that I've hit this milestone and, you know, I'm 27, is, okay, we got here. Not, all right, what do I want next? I think I need to go back and just go, what really drives me? You know, as I step into my 30s, Jesus, what drives me, what fuels me. And so that's what I'm doing now, is figuring out what do I actually care about and working backwards a little bit with mental fortitude as a tool. So mental fortitude, I feel like Danny Rojas and Ted Lasso, mental fortitude is life.
I love it. It is life.
Mental fortitude is life.
That is a good hat. Damn.
That is good.
That is a
Ball
great shirt.
Whip it up, girl.
Oh wow.
Mental
that is
fortitude
a great
is life.
Shirt. Mental
For a little
fortitude
soccer
is
ball.
life. Damn, Balam, we're gonna have to reach out. That is fun.
Parker,
I like
this was great, man. I appreciate you doing this. I'm excited to do yours next. 200 plus episodes later, to be able to sit down and, obviously we get deep in Fortitude and 15, but I'm going through stuff right now, just trying to figure out who I am, like I always am, but especially the past few months. And I appreciate us taking the time to get a little deeper, and I appreciate Elevation Nation for listening.
Yes, man. All right, Elevation Nation. This was fun. It was special. Until next time, peace.
Peace.